What up, guys? It's a busy day. Just got done training, doing some videos for you guys. Eugene and I are getting ready to do a podcast with Matt from Epic Roll. Doesn't actually say a shirt, but this is an Epic Roll shirt. And then Zoltan from, was it Five Finger Death Punch? And I know he's got some stuff going on with my buddy Brandon McGaffrin with the PGF. And I got some questions from you guys. So this past weekend we did the Jiu-Jitsu Open. I don't know. I think it was probably the biggest tournament in Louisville that I've ever seen for Jiu-Jitsu. We had people from Montana, California, Michigan, Georgia coming in. It was a huge success. Thank you to all you guys who came out and supported it. Appreciate you guys. During the competition, though, I was talking to several young competitors. It was like their first time. We also had some great black belt and expert divisions, but we also had a lot of newcomers. And one of the things, and I think this is a big one for a lot of new people, right, is the nerves associated with the competition. How do you deal with them, right? Like one guy in particular, he came to my seminar that I did the next day at my gym. His name, I believe, was Nathan. And Nathan said that he lost his first match, right? He said he got out there and he felt just shaky. His legs felt weak. His grips were weak and he just felt off, right? He goes out there, loses his first match. Now, at most competitions, single elimination, that would have been it for him for the day, right? Since he was doing our competition, the Jiu-Jitsu Open, we do a round-robin style, and so we had 3 more matches in the division to go, and those next 3 matches he won, and got a couple submissions. And so he said that after that first match, he was like, oh man, I feel good. And then he felt like himself and he went on to compete and did very well, right? Many of you have probably experienced that, like after your first match, you're like, I feel good now, can we just do it again? But most of the time you don't have that experience. By the way, if you guys ever want to do a Jiu-Jitsu Open, shameless plug, check out the links down below. Now here's the idea. How can you deal with those nervous feelings so that you don't go into your first match, feel like crap and lose it, and then feel good after the fact, right? When you don't need it anymore. So here's the idea. I'll give you 2 to chew on. Number 1 is that you need to get a good warm-up, right? So if you're going to get ready to compete, you want to step on the mat like you just got done with your match or just got done with a match. Think about if you go to an open rolling situation in your gym where you're getting a bunch of rolls in. Your best roll typically isn't your first one, is it, right? Most of the time it's like your second, third, fourth, whatever. If you're in shape, right? If you're not in shape, then maybe it is your first one. But if you're in shape, it's usually like that second or third roll when your body feels nice and loosened up, you're warm, you're sweaty. That's how you want to step onto the mat for the competition. Now, some of you maybe are worried, like, well, what if I'm worried about conserving energy? When you're competing, you're worried about the next match, and that is it, and that's all. My thinking on this, right, is that when you're getting out there, what you're doing is you're getting rid of all that nervous energy. Think about your body when you're getting ready or when you're nervous, you're on edge or something like that. Maybe you're stressed out, you go train, what happens? Oh man, it dumps all the energy out of you and you feel a lot more relaxed. You obviously don't want to be too relaxed for a competition, but you want to take some of that nervous energy that you have and you want to dump it out through a good hard warm-up. A lot of times a good mock roll is perfect, right? So that's 1. Get a good warm-up. Step onto that mat nice and sweaty. Be ready to go. The next idea that I would share with you is that you have to practice it. You have to practice being in that state. There's no way around it, right? You can't there's no shortcut. There's no super ninja secret tip. There's no mental hack to it. You have to get there. Your body has to be accustomed to this. If you get used to this feeling and you learn how to wield it, think of it as almost like a fire. A fire if you can contain it and you can control it, it can be very useful. You can cook food, you can warm yourself. It has all kinds of benefits. Left uncontrolled, the fire will consume and destroy everything. Well, that'll be the same thing with your nervous energy before the match. If you learn how to turn it and use it as excitement and learn to sort of help you charge your body up and get ready to compete, it can be a benefit to you. It'll make you better when you compete, opposed to the opposite, which most people who have this issue with the nervousness, they'll say, I do really good in my gym, but then when I compete, I don't do as well. I'm much better in the gym than I am in competition. And so what you want to do is you want to get practice with this feeling. You want to get used to it. Again, I always talk about it. Jiu-Jitsu is about making the uncomfortable comfortable, getting comfortable with the uncomfortable. If some guy's got you in a headlock and he's got you on the ground smashing you and you don't feel comfortable with it, what's the best thing to do? Find some strategies on how to deal with it and then go to that position a lot. Become comfortable with it. And so the way that you get practice with this feeling, of course, is put yourself into more competitions. Do it over and over again. Stir up that feeling. And eventually what will happen is you'll become more relaxed with that feeling. It'll become more normal. And if you're like me, you'll kind of almost look forward to it because I know that if I use it, that I can make myself better. One of my buddies, Austin, he was on the podcast recently, and we have some videos of him coming out soon. he's a judo black belt and, has won some big judo competitions. He said that he thinks about it like going Super Saiyan, right? So any of you guys that watched Dragon Ball Z, right? He's like, it's this energy that's coming up through me, and if I know how to relax and use it, it'll make me stronger. It'll make me rise to a new level. And so that's the idea, is that you want. If you have a competition coming up, maybe your first one, or maybe you've done a couple competitions, or hell, maybe you've been competing for a long time, and you struggle with the nerves, number one, make sure you get a good damn warm-up. So important. Get your body moving, get rid of all that nervous energy, and make sure that when you step out onto the mat, it looks like you've already had a match, even if it's your first one. And then the other thing is that if you still struggle with it, obviously it's going to take a while, get the practice reps. Do more competitions. Get out there and do them as often as you can, if that's something that you're trying to do, and learn how to wield that energy that you're getting from it. Learn how to use it and control it, and use it to make it helpful. So anyway, that's the idea, guys. Hopefully it helps you. I'll talk to you guys next time.